And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I can taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. 'Cause sooner or later it's over, I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
Hi everybody, I'm Mark McLean. It's time for the shave of the day, and I am ready for one, as you can probably see. At least I hope you can see with the camera. I'm about 3 days bushy overgrowth. Yeah, overdue a shave. Tell you what, I'm not going to shave it with. I'm not going to shave with this, but I could. It's sharp enough. This is today's EDC, my everyday carry that I have on me today. That's my pick. That is my Norseman knife from John and Eric Grimsmo. The Grimsmo brothers from Ontario, Canada. A knife that's completely made by those guys and their CNC machine. It's a Tormac brand CNC machine. Excellent job and excellent craftsmanship down to the degree, literally. I mean, they really have the codes perfect on their computer dial-up for this particular knife. It's considered to be I guess a mid-tech knife, but in my opinion, this particular one is pretty much custom. In fact, it even says on it, custom made September 2013 for Mark McLean, as John put that on there. He also inscribed the Norseman, the Spartan helmet guy there, as well as there on the pivot. There's a long story behind this. If you'd like to look it up on some of the other videos of this knife I have, please feel free to do so. It will explain why it's not as much a mid-tech as it is a custom. Anyway, we are moving right along. I've got to put on some pre-shave oil today. I'm using the Shea Butter Shave beard softener. This is a beard softener and skin protector, and it is a pre-shave oil specifically designed for that. I like the scent of this, but I guess you would call it the viscosity. I really like that, or the texture of the lubricant, at least by the way it feels when it comes between my beard, my skin, and the actual razor blade itself. It does an excellent job. But like I said earlier, the scent, that's where it gets you. I like the scent. I really, really do. And I think I ordered this one off eBay. It wasn't very expensive at all, but I will be getting more as soon as I'm running out of that one. Getting a little bit low right now. Not so low I have to have any soon. This is my brush for today. It's a boar bristle Samog 830. Gifted to me by a fantastic guy in the wet shaving community named Thomas Burgess. He's a good guy and a good friend. A lot of good people there in the wet shaving community on Facebook. Several different groups I'm a member of on there. Check them out. Look me up and I'll be glad to invite you along if you see any in particular you'd like to be a part of. The soap I'm using today is from Mickey Lee Soapworks. And that's, how do you say that? Is that Cape Verde? Well, you can say what you want. Cape Verde actually would be proper. Cape Verde, and some people would say Cape Verde. The reasoning, I looked it up. I wanted to find out about that. So I did a little background checking here, and if I can find it. It says most non-English tourists to Cape Verde, particularly the Italians and Spanish, pronounce the Verde or Verdi but the final E on the end is silent in pronunciation in Portuguese. Hence, Cabo or Cape, as they say, the Cape or the Cabo. Cabo Verde or Cabo Verde is actually correct. That's the correct pronunciation of the local language. And I've always been told, however the people pronounce it there in the location where you're ever talking about, that particular city's pronunciation is the correct pronunciation. For example, there's a local place not too far from here where I live called Cairo, Illinois. Some people call it Cairo. It's spelled like that, but locally the people call it Cairo, the city that cares. So you see what I'm saying? It's basically up to the people who reside there. They're the ones that I guess have carpe diem over, or whatever. What is the word? Carte blanche. That's what I meant to say. Not carpe diem. You seize the day too, by the way. No, carte blanche. They have the actual choice to make on how to pronounce it. So, according to Mickey Lee Soapworks, Cape Verde or Cape Verde is proper either way. Anyway, it was inspired, they say, by the Creole African island of Cape Verde and is the lavender that grows there. I didn't know that. It's a bright fougere that has notes of fresh orange, tangerine, lavender, thyme, and oak moss. And I'm really an oak moss fan. I truly am. I like oak moss. The razor I'm using today is going to be my silver ball end tech. Yeah, I haven't used this one in a while. I guess it's been a while, almost around the time when I first scored this razor. This is the Gillette. It's a 3-piece, really quite simple, put together. A little 3-piece Gillette ball end tech. Really one of 3 that I own. The first being the gold ball end tech with the comb through style, and the miniature travel version, the K2, I believe is what this one is, the ball end tech for traveling. That's the family that I have, and we're going to be using the silver ball end tech today. Shark is my blade. That's what I'm using today. Going to be scoring out a shark here. I like these shark blades. Have you guys had the chance to try them yet? I really like them. I don't know why some of these packages are actually darker than the others. I'm not really sure why. I don't think there's any difference. They're all the same super stainless blades, as they call them. So we'll be popping that one out, putting this in really quickly. I'm in a hurry today. One of those days, you know, I've got a doctor's appointment. So I thought I would just rush right along, and the easiest way to do that is by using something that's not really difficult, not really time-consuming, something quite simple like this silver end ball end tech, or silver ball end tech. It does a great job. It's not too aggressive. It's just something you can just whack, 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 and you're finished, you know, and that's what I'm looking for today. I do have my onion soup bowl. That's what they call this. I picked this up at a local antique mart. Actually, it was one of those places where people bring their wares and display them. Consignment store is what they call it. And I will be using that to stir up the final product into a lather. I haven't soaked this or made I'm afraid I haven't made a blossom yet or a bloom soap. So I just went ahead and put some hot water on that. Just wiping off the label here so you guys can see it. That's the Mickey Lee Soapworks Cape Verde. Or you can say Verde if you want, even though the last letter is silent in the pronunciation. Okay. Hope you guys are doing well today. I know I am. Getting off first part of the work week is always rough for everybody. And even though I'm disabled and I can't work, it's still one of those tough days for me too. Chasing down my Lipton green iced tea. Yes, I'm a teetotaler. And I've got my Toys for Tots shirt on, promoting, helping out the kids It will be here Christmas time, that is. It will be here very, very soon. And if you want to help out a great group of people, I'm sure your local community has a Toys for Tots organization or something thereof, similar at least, then be sure to help them out. If nothing else, the Salvation Army, that's a fantastic place. They do a world of good for people. And your local community, I'm sure, has one. In fact, last year, my wife and I, we chose, they have what's called the Tree of Angels. And this is families, kids who don't have anything for Christmas. I mean, they wake up Christmas morning and they're probably not going to have anything. If they do, it will only be like a few things, maybe some socks, things that they need, maybe a toothbrush. And you don't want that. You want something to give the kids a good memory. You know, that's what I want anyway. I want kids to have the same memory that I had Christmas morning. And I grew up to be okay. I mean, that's debatable. I know it's debatable. What can I say? Okay. Anyway, the way you do it, you pick out one of the kids off of the tree, and that's their angel, and you take it and you buy that child Christmas. My 3 brothers-in-law that own the donut shop here in town, Red's Donuts, they didn't want anything for Christmas last year. They didn't want us to get them anything. They've got everything they wanted or need. So they said, just please help somebody else out. So that's what my wife and I did. We picked out a kid off the tree and took care of the kid's Christmas. I mean, he had everything from clothes to toys to coat, and of course the necessities, underwear and socks, etc. But, you know, that's something that you can do, and it makes you feel a whole hell of a lot better than spending all this money and wasting it on just junk, you know? Another thing I'm contemplating doing is giving the kids, my grandkids, of course, like maybe $100 bill per grandkid. Not all of my grandkids, because I've got 18 grandkids. Luckily, a lot of them are very small. But some of the older ones, you know, the ones that you want to impress and be a little bit influential upon their lives, those kids been thinking about maybe giving them a $100 bill for Christmas. And their gift is they must take that $100 bill and they must spend it on someone else less fortunate. That's their gift. And they may say, oh, this gift sucks. It may suck for a little while. I think in the long run, kids are smart enough that they're going to get it. Or at least I would hope mine or my grandkids would, you know. Tell me what you think of that idea. And maybe we could get some other guys to do something like that. I've loaded up my brush, the Samog 830 boar bristle. Got my onion soup bowl here. Just going to sit it in the bottom, and I like to drip my hot water into the bowl, just a few drops there. That way you can really control the soap to water ratio a lot better than if you were to just try it and dipping the bristles in the soap or in the water. I found before that anytime I try and dip the bristles into the water, I end up going too deep down into the water and therefore ending up with too much water on my brush. And I can't really control that, but the soap to water ratio, for me at least, is more easily controlled just by dripping a few drops, holding it up, and allowing the bowl to go underneath. And like I always say, it's about you. It's about whatever works for you. And of course, your mileage may vary. Your mileage may vary. Do what works for you. And I'll do what works for me. How's that sound? Good. I'm glad you agree. I could hear all of you guys nodding your heads right there. Now look at this. That's wonderful, isn't it? That's a fantastic lather right there. Wow. And it smells nice too. I really like the some of the fougères that I've smelled, and I like anything with oak moss in it usually. But man, this smells good. really good. This soap was a pay it forward to me by my buddy David Bradner. Awesome dude. He really is an awesome guy. If you have seen him in some of the wet shaving groups on Facebook or perhaps whatever the other social media, if you've seen him, then make him a friend of yours. You will have a great friend, I'll promise you that much. He's a hell of a guy. Just had a little baby girl recently, and she is a doll. Okay, I am ready to shave. Just that quick. And that's what we're looking for. Rush job today. I'm not even going to stretch the skin with this razor. Don't really have to. Although doing this, that stretches the skin, I guess. Nice. Going to the opposite side. Trying to keep the bubbles out of my nose. I don't want to go too low because I could hit into the beard line, and I don't want that. One advantage about using the comb-through razor is when it comes to trimming around your mustache, but I don't have that one today. But I just recently did a trim job on my mustache, so it's not required. Right now, at least. So do you guys ever go to Sam's Club? Tell me. Isn't that really a crazy place? I'm serious. It's like this, you go there and you spend a small amount of money. It's not really that expensive. But you end up with 500 pounds of something that you don't need. And probably won't even be using at least for a year, if you even use it then. I mean, it is nice to have good prices, and they really do have great prices. I just can't think of where I'm going to use 500 pounds of sugar. Oh man, I know I'm exaggerating a bit. No? Exaggerating a little? No? Exaggerating a lot. I got ya. That's okay. But you know what I'm talking about. And I've got all that trimmed up right there, so I'm just going under the beard line right now. Grows a little bit thicker under there. Because of my neck beard I had in high school. That's a really good soap though. Look at that. I mean, there's so much lather in it. I could just whip it up with my hand out of my whiskers and my beard. Okay, still doing the downward pass. Just wanted to trim a little extra underneath the beard line, so. And then I'll rotate to the opposite side, using the blade equally. That way I'll get more shaves out of it if I want, but at the rate and price they cost, I might just throw it out. Use a new one next time. And that's what I like, the ability to decide. If I want to just chunk it and I'm in a hurry, I'll chunk it. And I like that ability. All right, going to lather up for pass number 2. And this will be an upward pass. Man, that soap is awesome. Great lathering. That's the perfect coating or amount right there that I like. Can you see that? Just enough to cover the skin so you can't see the color or texture. Perfect. I don't really, like a lot of soap. Don't have to have it. But I mean, I can still whip on some if I need it, a little extra. Totally up to the individual each time. Like I always say, you be the one that decides. I hope you guys had the chance to check out my last video. By the way, this thing still has soap in it. Look at this. Isn't that wild? Yeah, I hope you did. I hope you got to check out my last video because it had a lot of meaning to it. It was a video that I wanted to be able to allow people to say, hey, I think I'm going to watch that video that, that Mark did a while back. Hunter Green did that video about feeling good, and I really like that. I feel like I'm sort of down today, so I'm going to go to that video and watch it. And that's what I wanted. I wanted some people to say, hey, I'm just knocking off some of this soap. I wanted people to say, hey, I really like that, and it made me feel good, so I'm going to watch it again. Your basic feel-to, or go-to, feel-good video. That's what I meant to say. Need an uplifting moment? Want to feel a little better today? Go to that video. Watch it. So that was the idea behind it. I was in a great mood. I wanted to share that with folks. I'm just doing an across the grain swipe right there along the beard line and the top cheeks. Man, this sink is just loaded down with whiskers. Look at that. Can you see that? I know, it didn't look like it at first to you guys, did it? Upward stroke now. The upward pass on my neck. Now, my beard grows a little differently on the neck area. Well, I'll just grab my fingernail with that blade. Did you hear that? Anyway, my beard grows like toward the Adam's apple right here, and down here it goes back that way. So I don't know why, but it does. So you just have to feel for it where it's needing it. And this last spot, that should be it. Wow, that's it. I really have gotten there quick today, huh? But I was in a hurry, like I said, Yeah, cold water. Ooh. Whew. Have you guys noticed that it's getting a lot colder? Are you guys having a cooler trend in your area? We have a cool front coming through right now here. Started a couple of days ago coming through, and it's really getting more and more chilly as we speak, I think. Yeah, it's ushering in old man winter, and that's something in Kentucky, at least, I think, for me at least, that something you can enjoy. And if you don't like the weather in Kentucky, stick around, it'll change. I'm serious. It changes very, very quickly here for some reason. Wow, that's a great shave too, folks. I like that. So, what aftershave am I using? I'm going to use some Floyd today. I love the scent of this. Genuine since 1932. Maseje Genuino Metalado Suave. What did he say? I don't know. I don't know what I said. I can read writing, but I can't write reading. I mean, that's about the truth, too. I can't write worth a fiddle, as my dad used to say. Doctor's appointment coming up this morning for my wife and I. It's a first-time visit for me. I'm going to be using her doctor for a change. In fact, I just got an update here. It says, doctor's appointment 10:30 with Dr. Wright. Actually, today at 10:45, be there 15 minutes early. So yes, 10:45 may be the appointment time, but 10:30 would be the time I need to get there. And it's 20 minutes till 10 right now, so I'm doing okay. Have you ever seen the Sarah McNamara brand of skin products? Sarah McNamara. These are available, I think, at some skin tone shops, and I'm not sure, but I believe they're available at Ulta Cosmetics, possibly even at Walmart among the gift counter. 5-in-1 translucent skin enhancer for the face. It also has SPF 20 sun protector factor or sun protectant factor. And this stuff really is good. If I had to pick one post-shave balm or lotion to use following a straight razor shave, it would be that, because it's called Miracle Skin. Sarah McNamara. When you put it on, it's hard to explain. It's like, it's almost like you're putting skin back where you cut it all off. It really does a great job. And it actually helps you reach whole status that quick. Whole status. Wow. Great shave, under 30 minutes. From top to bottom, even an EDC of the day update. And I blabbered and talked. Thank you guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Pay it forward and get out there and get ready to help people at Christmas time. It's coming up. Come on, help the kids who need the help, and the parents who don't need the help, give them a talking to. Have a good one, guys. Peace.